Let's talk style and self-care for the holidays. First of all, style during the holidays. Let's talk about how to not overthink that and not get overwhelmed with what you're gonna look like this holiday season. Depending on where you're going, what your events are, kind of what you have in your head that you are going to be out and about doing. Let's not overthink that, okay? Because I know for me, my lifestyle right now is not screaming for events and parties and holiday galas and things like that. For Thanksgiving, I'm going to be with family, relaxing back in the States, eating good and just enjoying myself. So keeping that in mind, I'm thinking about and I'm planning already the outfits that I want to take and wear for that. I want to be comfortable. That is my main goal. I want to be comfortable. So I feel like in that sense, the very first thing I'm thinking about is what sets do I have to make that a reality, to make me being comfortable for the holiday season a reality. So I'm thinking about in my closet, I'm going through my wearing app and I'm looking at what sets do I have? What could I put together to make easy styling? That is my goal here. Also, if you are going to be shopping, because after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, there are holiday sales and things going on out in the shopping malls and in the stores. So you're probably going to be in the midst of a lot of rush and hustle and bustle during this holiday season, and you are going to be probably out getting your Christmas gifts and different things you may be out doing. You may even go out to eat with family and things like that. Consider your lifestyle and what you're going to be looking like and who you're going to be involved with when doing those things. Literally, like I said, I'm going to be with my family. I still want to be cute. I'm still going to show up and show out, of course, but I'm going to be comfortable and I'm not going to be overthinking kind of what my vibe and my aesthetic is. Just cool girl chic. That's kind of what I want to go for. And sets can give you that, and you just add different elements and different, extra pops and pieces to make it more, less, you, whatever, however. That's my vibe and my goal for the holiday. So that is the first thing I'm thinking about. Reducing the overwhelm and planning accordingly. I'm not gonna be out in heels and doing anything that requires that. So I know that I'm not going to pack a lot of clothes and shoes that is in that category or in that vibe. Probably gonna be wearing sneakers, and I'm probably going to, like I said, just be very comfortable, casual, cool girl chic. So I say all of that to say, consider what you're going to be doing this holiday season. And even as we get closer to Christmas and the New Year, Christmas, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be really out and about and doing events, doing parties, if you are, once again, your lifestyle, consider all of that and plan accordingly. Taking the overwhelm out of all that, in order to do that, you have to plan accordingly. So I say that is the most important starter is planning. New Year's, are you going to travel? Are you going to be really showing up and showing out because you're going to a New Year's party, event, however, whatever? If that is the case, think about that and start planning that and considering that now. New Year's last year, we were in Berlin. It was outside and it was really cold out. So my look was, it was chic, but it was very comfortable and it was very cozy in a sense because, like I said, it was cold. But I wanted to give a certain vibe. So anyway, I planned ahead and accordingly so that I could have the look that I was going for. But that's the goal for you. If you have things that you know you're going to be doing, plan accordingly so that you're not stressed out and overwhelmed with how you're going to be looking and waiting to the last minute to shop the things that you need, the gaps that you know you have now, fill them and prepare. The holidays it already is a bit much in itself. It is already a bit overwhelming. And so having to plan for your looks and things, you don't need to add to that, okay? So we already talked about the planning and preparation for what you want to look like this holiday season. The second thing we want to talk about is simple self-care things that you can do for you in the midst of all of that. So that is the shopping, the out and about with people, mixing and mingling, the entertainment of friends and family, whatever you have going on. You may need to take a moment for self to decompress or to refill or to just kind of recharge in a sense. So let's talk about what you could do to put some self-care things in place during this holiday season to really help combat that, especially if you're cooking. Girl, I ain't cooking, but I know that is a lot in itself. Having to stand in the kitchen prepping food, being up all night, watching this, watching that, like it could be a lot in itself to just be a host of the thing. So let's talk about what you can do. And for starters, the very first thing you can do is to prepare once again for this holiday season. So if that means before the holiday season even really gets into full throttle, you go and get your Alba massage. You go somewhere, you get rubbed down, you get pampered, you get taken care of, you get the works, you get your facial, you get your foot rub, you get everything you need. You get your nails done, you get your feet done, you get the body scrub, you get the wrap, you get the works. Whatever you're going to need that is going to leave you the fullest, leave you the happiest, leave you glowing like it ain't no tomorrow. That is what you want to do for starters. Because when you start full, then there's the depletion there's a longer way to go before you are depleted. So you have this capacity to entertain and to be bothered and to deal with all that you may have to deal with. So that is the very first tip I would say as far as self-care for yourself in preparation for this holiday season. It is going to help you ground and center before you get started. It is going to set the mood. It is going to set the tone. It is going to give you the energy and vibes that you're going to be starting with. It is going to kind of put you in that place mentally, physically, spiritually, all of those things is going to kind of set that tone for you. The next thing is, we talked about the fact that you have planned your looks because you know what all you have going on. We have talked about the fact that you want to start with a self-care theme that's going to fill you to the max. Then let's talk about the itinerary and the preparation up until the thing happens and what you're going to do in between all of that. So let's just say, for example, you are not the host, but you're going to someone's house for a holiday event. What do you need to do before that? Take care of yourself, to prepare yourself to be full and be charged and be ready to do whatever you need to do in that setting. So that is really kind of take a moment to think about knowing who you are. And when you know who you are, then it's easy to kind of assess what is needed. And so for me, I know that I get a bit overstimulated when I am going to an event or to someone's house and there's a lot of new people there that I know I don't know upon arrival. Sometimes just a lot of that can just be overstimulating, having to meet new people, remember names.
This is my family, this is Jasmine.
Okay, we have names.
That sister, father, brother, sister-in-law, child.
Kind of get in the midst of the vibe and just begin to churn and all that. It could be a lot. So for me, kind of before doing those things, I try to take a moment for myself before I even arrive to prepare my mental. So that may be in the preparation of getting ready, I'm sitting down and I actually just kind of, escape for a moment. I get to relax and be down before going up, if that makes sense. So I take a moment to really be as mellow as I can be prior to getting into a space that I know I'm going to be overstimulated. So if that makes sense, okay. So that means I'm going to be home, probably taking some time to chill before I actually start to get ready and prepare myself to come into whatever that environment is going to be. So that is probably me just chilling at home, reading a book, me chilling at home, maybe with a glass of wine with my husband, maybe me just kind of taking the extra time that I may need to get myself together, but using that as some decompression time or some chill time. So I may turn my music on in the bathroom while I'm getting myself together, while I'm putting on a little bit of makeup on my face or something, or getting my hair done, or getting my outfit put on. I'm really going through kind of like a ritual to mellow myself out and decompress myself before getting in a space that I could potentially be overwhelmed or overstimulated in. So if all of that makes sense, you know you and you know what you need before entering into a space and having to entertain people, though that thing you have to do before getting into that space. Don't go into a space already overstimulated and overwhelmed, meaning sometimes before people go into events and parties or whatever they have going on, they may have had this extra long conversation with somebody, may have been, stimulated by an argument, they may have been triggered by something, they may have been watching something that had them all tense. Like, I don't know, for me, I cannot do all of that before going to another environment, like I said, where there could be potential overstimulation. So all of that to say, know yourself and know what you need to do prior to getting in the setting that you could be overstimulated. Speaking of that, setting your mood and mindset is a part of your self-care. This holiday season, you absolutely need to set your mood and your mindset. So that goes back to the thought that I was saying about being overstimulated when you're going into an environment. But setting your mood and your mindset, when you are home this holiday season, before you do anything, before you have people over, before you go out, take time to set your own mood and your own mindset. And that could be you taking time to meditate in the morning when you get up during this holiday season, preparing your mind and your mental and centering yourself before getting started with whatever your day may entail. Setting your mood, if you need to light candles around the house, if you need to put on music, if you need to do whatever you need to recharge and to mellow out and to, like I said, set your mood and your mindset, you have to know what those things are and do it for yourself. Holidays can be very stressful. I say again, they could be very overwhelming, very overstimulating, and for some, they could even be very depressing. People have lost people during the holiday time frame, holiday season. People are by themselves. Holidays don't look the same for everybody. So in being mindful of that, self-care is so important during this season. And if that means that you have to be around people, you have to go somewhere and, get full with friends and family, do what needs to be done in order to, like I said, set your mood, set your mindset. And in doing all that, the self-care, preparing yourself mentally, centering and all of that, keep in mind that your style and how you show up in doing all of this is very, very important. And we don't want to get overwhelmed with that or make that the hard part of the day. So the preparation is key, which means in doing all of this, be prepared for how you're going to show up. That means plan your outfits, okay? Shop your closet, look through what it is that you have and prepare for how you want to show up, because your style is a choice, right? That is very important. And how you look reflects how you feel about self and how you feel on the inside. So keep that in mind. That showing up in a way and putting yourself together is a part of your self-care. So keep that, at the top of the list as well this holiday season when preparing yourself and you're preparing your mind and your mood. That is a part of you. It's a reflection of you. So don't neglect your style. There is a connection between your style and your emotional well-being. So keep all of that in mind and at the forefront and at the, is a focal point in your mind. This holiday season, like I said again, can be a lot for people, but keeping self-care at the forefront, which includes your style, is very important and should set you up for success this holiday season, no matter what you have going on. If that is entertaining, just going out and about, being at all the parties and all the galas, whatever your holiday season will look like, don't forget about yourself. Take care of yourself. Do what you need for fulfillment and setting your own mood and your own mindset. And I hope that you have an amazing holiday season. And I hope that these tips helped, and I hope that it got you thinking about what you need to do in preparation for this holiday season. But until next time, thank you. Bye.